She ran away to save her future, but fate threw her into the arms of a man who would control her life forever. So how did everything go so wrong? Let's start from the moment Lena decided to run, trying to escape a fate forced upon her. At the same time, a very important man arrives in the village. John, a high-ranking leader, here to oversee preparations for a celebration. He's sitting in his car, waiting. Suddenly, Lena dashes straight toward his car, clinging to it and begging for help. Through her tears, she explains that her mother wants to marry her off to some older man she doesn't even know. She's still just a student and refuses his marriage. John sees nothing but a poor frightened girl and thinks of himself as just a driver. He doesn't reveal who he really is. Without hesitation, he decides to help her, fleeing the village before her mother can catch her, leaving the celebration behind. An hour later, they arrive in the city. Lena thanks John profusely, even offering him money as a token of gratitude, then goes on her way, still thinking he's just a regular driver. After that, John talks to his grandmother on the phone, clearly frustrated, insisting he doesn't want any arranged marriage and that there isn't any girl he's thinking of as a wife. Elsewhere, Lena meets her friend Sully and tells her about the escape from her village. Sully tries to help, suggesting Lena find a job so she can support herself. By the end of the day, Lena starts working at a hotel, delivering orders. Sully sends her serve drinks to a customer, but Lena has no clue what she's really walking into. She just wants a quiet job. Coincidentally, John arrives at the same hotel, his assistant bringing women for a night out because his grandmother thinks he should be social. Lena sees him surrounded by women, and even though he's drunk, he recognizes her immediately. Lena, however, refuses to sit with him, insisting she's there only to work, and leaves. Later, Lena goes looking for Sully and finds her drunk with another guy. Lena ends up in a fight with the customer. Sully jumps in to defend her, explaining to the customer that Lena's just a country girl and doesn't know how things work here. She even insists Lena drink with him so she doesn't get kicked out. Lena drinks, gets dizzy, and then the customer starts to get aggressive. Panicked, she runs and accidentally barges into John's room. Things get intense and had sex with John. The next morning, Lena wakes up in shock, confused about what happened. John accuses her of planning everything to force him into marriage. He even offers her money and tells her to disappear from his life. Broken, Lena leaves, thinking about all the injustice. She was only trying to escape an assault, and it was John's assistant who opened the door for her. The next day, Lena feels sick and visits a doctor, only to be shocked. She's pregnant. She asks for an abortion, but the doctor warns her she has fertility issues, and losing the baby can mean she'll never be able to have children again. Sad and worried, she leaves the clinic. John's assistant, suspecting something, confirms the pregnancy. Sully overhears everything, boiling with jealousy. She can't believe a country girl could end up pregnant with the boss's child, and she decides to get revenge. She calls Lena's mother and tells her where Lena is. Meanwhile, John finds out about the pregnancy and that Lena accidentally entered his room. He rushes to the hospital, but Lena hides and sneaks out crying, only to be kidnapped by her mother and brother and taken back to the village. John keeps searching for her, and Lena tries to call him, but they cover her mouth before he can see her. Back at her family's house, her mother pressures her to marry another man. Lena tells him she's pregnant, but her mother insists. John traces a car she took and flies to the countryside in a private jet with his team. At the same time, the groom tries to assault Lena, so she runs and even considers jumping off a building, but John arrives at the last second, saving both her and the baby. Lena wakes up in a hospital to find John by her side, but she's afraid he's only there for the child. The grandmother visits her, treating her like a daughter. John tells her the entire palace is hers and the baby's. The grandmother reassures her that John has never treated any other girl this way. Life starts to change. The grandmother buys Lena dresses, arranges tutors, and John begins treating her with real care. One morning, Lena is surprised to see Sully at the palace. She requested to work there to stay close to her. Lena quickly realizes Sully's intentions. Later, John gets drunk, and Sully tries to get close to him, sneaking into his room. Lena bursts in at the last moment and kicks her out. Furious, Sully teams up with Lena's mother to secretly put abortion pills into Lena's food. The next day, Sully prepares a special meal for Lena and slips the drug inside. Lena was about to eat the meal when John suddenly walks in, carrying the food. He smiles at her and says, "How about we try this meal together, my love?" Lena takes a bite, smiling, while Sully's face shows pure frustration. Her plan completely failed, and John is giving Lena way too much attention. Later, Sully calls Lena's mother, telling her the plan didn't work and asking her to speak to Lena, pretending she missed her or wanted her to come visit, bringing the money she supposedly earned raising her all these years. Lena feels extremely annoyed but decides to go with Sully to her mother's house. By the end of the day, Lena arrives with Sully at her family home. Her mother treats her poorly, takes her money, and forces her to live with her. As soon as her brother sees a bag, he realizes it's full of ordinary paper, not money. Lena confronts them, saying she knew all along that Sully was planning to harm the baby, and John also knows. Then John arrives and rescues Lena after her family tries to hurt her. Lena asks her mother, "Am I really your daughter?" Because this isn't how a mother treats her child, and discovers the truth. She isn't their biological child. She was kidnapped as a baby, and Lena learned she was taken from the hospital the day she was born. After that, Lena returns home with John. They take a lock of her hair to run a DNA test and try to track down her real mother. 2 days later, a powerful businesswoman named Mrs. Joe arrives and reveals that Lena is her daughter after seeing the published test results. However, Mrs. Joe treats John coldly and demands he divorce Lena, claiming Lena is richer than him and should marry an even wealthier businessman. She adds, "Don't think the baby in my daughter's womb can tie her to you. We'll raise the child and you won't see them," sparking even more trouble. Later, Lena goes to visit her father's grave after learning he died when she was kidnapped, with John and her real mother accompanying her. Then we see Juan and learn that she's the adopted daughter, and she's upset about Lena coming back. She steps in, pretending to get to know Lena, and acts like she's her beloved sister. But behind that sweet act, she has a plan. She even hints in front of Lena that she met John at a nightclub, trying to make Lena hate him. So, by the end of the day, we see Lena's mom telling her to move in with her and leave John behind. But John, totally against it. After a long discussion, Lena decides she'll live with her mom just during school. She walks into her mom's mansion and wow, it's like a full-on VIP welcome. Everyone's there, and her mom has set up tons of gifts for her, saying all the properties are going to be in Lena's name. Meanwhile, Juan, her illegitimate sister, is totally crushed. She's thinking, I grew up with everything, and in the end, I end up with nothing and all the attention goes to Lena. You can feel her jealousy and frustration bubbling. Then Lena's mom hands her a contract and tells her she'll get to choose a husband from a bunch of young men. But Lena's like, nah, I need to focus on school, especially since I'm really into design. Her mom actually encourages her and says she believes in her talent. The next day, Lena heads to university and John drops her off. The moment she steps out, a student named Dawn greets her. John sees it and jealousy instantly flares. Lena quickly tells her classmates, hey, John's my brother, not my boyfriend. But John? He's losing it inside and tells his assistant to cancel all his appointments to keep an eye on her. John follows her everywhere, and his jealousy is obvious, especially when Dawn starts explaining something to her in class. Later, Dawn gives Lena a rare copy of a famous author's book. John grabs it and says, don't worry, I'll get you the author himself, not just the book. Meanwhile, Juan is watching all this, fuming because Lena is getting all the attention from her mom and John. Then John leaves, letting Lena stay at university to finish her designs. Dawn tries to ask John about Lena's likes, but John shuts him down. Lena doesn't care about guys. Stay away. Then we see Juan giving money to some girls to bully Lena. And of course, they come in, mocking her. Your real mom's a farmer from the countryside, and you don't belong here. Lena defends herself. My mom's one of the richest women in the country. But they don't believe her and even threaten to report her to the administration because she's pregnant, which is forbidden for students. They even start destroying her artwork. After a while, Juan comes and kicks the girls out and pretends to defend Lena, even though she was the one who sent them. Then she gets close and tells Lena, your mom doesn't love you. All these years, she never thought about you. Her focus was her work and her position. And even when she adopted me, she forgot you existed. I took the love that should have been yours. Your existence meant nothing to her. Lena is completely shaken. She grabs her artwork, slams through them in anger, and storms out. Later, we see Juan try to set Lena up with her mom by taking photos of Lena's designs and sending them, saying, look, Mom, I accidentally saw Lena ruining the pieces you worked so hard to get her into design class. But Juan doesn't stop there. She calls Lena's mom and says, I have a solution. Since she doesn't care about school, why not marry her off to someone suitable, not John? That night, Lena comes back alone and finds Dawn waiting with flowers, asking her to marry him in front of everyone. Lena is shocked because it was part of Juan and Dawn's plan. Coincidentally, John passes by and sees what's happening. At first, he doesn't intervene, but when Lena gets too close to Dawn, he steps up and says, isn't it wrong to propose to a married woman who's also pregnant? Dawn is stunned. Juan then tells Dawn that Lena tricked him and that they need revenge. He'll marry Lena, and she'll marry John because she's been crushing on him since the first time she saw him and doesn't want Lena with him. John decides to assign bodyguards to Lena, making sure they're with her everywhere, especially at university. The next day, Lena goes to the library with her guards and picks up many design pieces. Juan convinces her to go to a family gathering that evening, and unfortunately, Lena agrees. When she arrives, she finds a bunch of guys there and feels suspicious. Juan lies. Mom sent them to meet you. Lena realizes something's off and excuses herself, saying she's busy with her designs. But the guys try to harass her. The guards break down the door and rescue her. Juan watches, clearly happy about the chaos. Later, Lena ends up at the hospital with John and her grandmother taking care of her. Her mom shows up, but Lena is cold. Don't send other guys after me. She then realizes that her mom wasn't behind the incident. It was Juan all along. Lena returns home with her grandmother and John. The next day, Lena heads to university to practice designs for a competition, with John by her side, encouraging her. Juan watches, super jealous, and calls someone to plot a dirty plan for the contest. Competition day arrives and Lena's ready. Before the contest starts, Juan coordinates with a friend to swap Lena's design with another piece, so she won't win. The contest begins, and all the contestants present their designs. When it's Lena's turn, she finds a video showing her and the person who tried to assault her, exposing her publicly and accusing her of being pregnant by someone unknown. The competition director scolds her. "You're embarrassing us on this big day." Lena grabs a mic, trying to defend herself. There's no rule saying a student can't be pregnant, especially if she's married. She denies the video, but she can't fully defend herself since John hasn't arrived yet. Finally, John comes and saves her from the humiliation, proving to everyone that she's his wife and the video was fake. His assistant takes down the girl who exposed her and even hits Dong. Juan pretends to be upset and hits Dong and her friend to clear herself. Lena presents her real design, a wedding dress, and everyone is stunned by its beauty. She wins first place. Lena's mom comes out and announces that Lena is her real daughter and the sole heir with all shares in her name. Juan is insanely jealous because Lena got everything. Lena goes to change to the fashion show, and Juan says, "I'll help you, you're my dear sister." Lena believes her and goes along, but Juan is secretly colluding with men and kidnaps her. Lena wakes up somewhere far away and finds Juan, who says, "You took everything from me, love, money, and the woman I consider my mom." John discovers Lena's disappearance and rushes to find her after learning that Juan rigged the video and kidnapped her out of jealousy. John arrives and rescues her from the gang. Lena's mom beats Juan and says, "From now on, you have no place in my home. Lena is my daughter, period." Finally, Lena's mom agrees with John, saying, "Now I'm sure my daughter will safely live with you and stay your wife." Years later, we see Lena and John with 2 kids, a boy and a girl. Lena graduates from university surrounded by her little family, all happy and content. And that's how our story ends for today. Tell me in the comments what kind of movies you want me to summarize next. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. I post a new video every day at 7 p.m. Bye.